Hello and welcome again sa isa pang episode ng Truly Happy Juan. Ako po si Eric Calugdan. Together with us is Sir Enrico Garcia. No,
Hello.
this week our topic is about turning prospects into customers. By the way, I'm Eric Calugdan. I used to be an IT consultant for Unisys, and I have put up my own business called Infotext. I'm also the CIO of Philpax and CTO of Sante. You can call me a serial entrepreneur. No? Si Sir Enrico naman used to be the retail operations manager of Shell, and then became the country manager of Herbalife, and then after that became the director of operations of Avon, and also became one of the board of directors of the Direct Selling Association of the Philippines. He is also a mindset coach and right now a director for international operations of Sante. No? And few months back during this quarantine period natin, kinontak ako ni Sir Enrico. Sabi niya, Eric, puro bad news na lang yung naririnig natin. No? Ano bang pwede natin gawin para matulungan naman yung ating mga kababayan? So nabuo namin itong series called Truly Happy Juan, no? Where we discuss every week, every Saturdays at 5 p.m., iba-ibang topics. No? Paano ba dapat tayo mag-isip? Lalo na ngayon yung mga challenging times. No? At paano ba mag-isip itong mga tinatawag na world-class Pinoy para tayo din maging successful din sa ating mga goals, sa ating buhay, sa ating mga businesses, no? At matuto naman ng mga bagay na hindi natin natutunan sa ating mga eskwelahan. 'Di ba? At maging successful din sa ating mga careers at sa ating mga businesses. So kung meron kayong mga na-miss, by the way, this is episode 31 already. So nasa 31
Wow.
weeks na tayo ng Truly Happy One. So kung na-miss niyo yung ating mga 30 episodes before, huwag kayong mag-alala. Makikita nyo yan sa description nitong video. No? Click nyo lang dyan from episode 1 to 30. Nandyan po siya. And pwede rin kayong mag-subscribe sa ating channel para naman yung mga future episodes, no, hindi nyo ma-miss. Okay? So pwede nyong i-click yung subscribe button dyan sa baba or dun sa description ng video, merong link papunta sa ating Facebook group ng Truly Happy One. No? So click nyo lang yan para maka-join kayo sa ating Facebook group. And also, no, don't forget to let us know where you are watching from. Kung nanonood kayo from Manila, type nyo dyan sa comments, watching from Manila, or from Quezon City, watching from Quezon City, or watching from Dubai, no, para alam natin kung hanggang saan itong ating broadcast. And during our discussions, if you have questions or feedback, don't hesitate. Just comment dyan sa comment section or chat dyan banda sa YouTube. No? And also, you can like, comment, and share our video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Ayan, nanonood po sa atin si Ian Messina. Ayan. And also si Pawan Kumar Jadwan. Thank you po for watching.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
So again, every week, iba-iba po yung ating topics. No? So for this week, ang ating topic is turning prospects into customers. So Sir Enrico, paano ba? How do we turn prospects into customers?
Hi, Eric. Good afternoon to you and to all our viewers, no? So, napakaganda nitong topic na to, Eric. Kasi ito talaga yung every business, 'di ba? Needs customers, 'di ba? So,
Correct.
ang ano niyan is not everybody starts out. You first have prospects. Ibig lang sabihin ng prospect is, people na who, if you do the right things, you can bring them, lead them to try your product or your service and become a customer. So, minsan, tawag nila sa prospect, okay, yung parang sabi na, suspect, di ba? Hindi naman. It's just a play of words. Pero, ang gusto mo kasing gawin, gumamit tayo ng analogy, no? Kumbaga, when you're trying to get a first date with a person that you want to get to know more, o gusto mong, ma-date man lang, di ba? You do many things, di ba? Para magresulta sa first date. Okay? Now, depende sa mangyayari sa first date, di ba? That can lead to either a second date, a third date, and even either a long-term relationship, or after first date, that's it. Di ba? So, I'm saying that now kasi babalik-balikan ko yung analogy yun. Di ba? It's very similar yung process na how do you turn your prospect into a customer. Di ba? Kung gusto mo mangyari, yung prospect mo, mag-first date. Di ba? Now, the reason mag-first date ka is because there is a certain expectation of a delivery of a promise. Okay, anong ibig sabihin nun, di ba? Makipag first date ka kapag okay mukhang kapanipaniwala naman na yung sinasabi sa akin nito at parang naiiba siya. Naiintriga ka na parang, okay, I don't know much but it's intriguing enough na sige nga, and compelling siya na parang okay to. Sige, why don't we try, di ba? Hindi ka pa sure at that point, di ba? But there's enough for you to want to say, sige, okay to, di ba? Okay, with that said, labas natin yung
Yung
diagram, di
slide.
ba? O yung
Ayan.
slide.
Sige po.
Oo. Yan. Okay. So yung goal ng every business, di ba, is kailangan magkaroon ng first trial. They experience your brand. Whether your brand is a product, a service, di ba? Even you as a person, you can brand yourself, di ba? So, ang sinasabi is, you have to do things before they even experience your brand. Okay? And you can do many things. What you say, what you do, video, ayan, you can see it there. You can, on social media, di ba? Publicity, events. Those are the messages of what you are trying to promise people that if they went on a first date with your brand, that this is what they would, get from that date. So let's take the example, like siguro si Eric, di ba? I mean, I've known Eric. Yung brand promise ni Eric as an individual, di ba, has been credible ba? When I first met Eric, wow, nung pinakita niya sa akin yung kanyang many years ago yung profile niya, 3 consecutive years, DTI awardee, Best Mobile Application. Tapos, ang daming clients. And then sabi niya na, oh sir, ito na nagawa ko. And, I've been able to create this system, which at that point, wala kang kapareho. So it was first credible yung offer niya and compelling kasi nobody had done that yet at that time. I'm talking maybe 12, 13 years ago, di ba? At that time, sabi ko, okay to naiiba to. And may connection kasi sa niya, sir, pag ako kausap niyo, ako lahat Ako yung marketing, ako yung CEO. Yeah. So, sabi niya, sir, para mabilis ang usapan, ako mismo nagde-decide on the spot. Sabi ko, okay yun. Kasi pagod na ako, maraming nagsasabi nito, pero wala namang mangyari. Tapos, ang tagal bago mag-decide, di ba? So, it made a connection to me. I needed a certain thing. And based on what Eric sent me, and when I spoke to him, yung brand promise was, when you deal with him, it's proven na hindi lang reliable, it's cutting-edge technology, and wow, kausap mo siya lang, tapos na. Everything can be finished. So, mabilis, gets the job done. So, yun yung promise on paper. So, syempre, sige, sabi ko, subukan natin yung system ni Eric. So, we put it in one of the companies that I was running. And of course, it worked. So, in other words, Eric was able to deliver on the promises. Di ba? Nung brand, the Eric Kalugdan brand. That's what it stood for. So, okay, what happened? First date namin yun. Nung nag-present siya, okay, natuloy. Nagustuhan namin produkto. It led to a second date. When I transferred companies, tinawagan ko si Eric, Eric, I need the same system. Because okay yung first date namin, it led to a second. And then it led to a third date. When I transferred again to another company, I called Eric again. Naalala mo ba? Tama ba, Eric? Ikaw magpatotoo kung yung sinasabi ko, tama. Di ba? So, it led to a third date. And from that point on, di ba, the third date led to a more enduring and meaningful relationship. Hanggang ngayon, magkasama kami. So, what I'm trying to say is, the Eric Kalugdan brand, if he didn't deliver on those promises, baka walang second or third date. And of course, kung walang second, third, then after first date, tapos na. But what it has resulted to is a marriage, di ba? To the brand. When I see an opportunity and it requires technology as an application, as a solution first brand on my mind, di ba, is the Eric Calugdan brand. Di ba? And again, we're together. So see, hindi lang third date. It's gone to, it's really
Fifth na yata
marriage.
ngayon, sir.
Oo, fifth
Oo,
na. O
oo.
tama, fifth na,
Yes.
di ba? Because
Oo.
nga,
Yung
the
fourth
brand,
natin, tayo magkasama. Ako naman yung nakipag-date sa inyo.
correct.
Oo.
So, what I'm trying to say is, if you keep delivering on the promise, enduring yung relationship with the brand. And that's, if you are in business, that is what you want. Because as the customer marries your brand, it takes less and less expense. Kasi nandun na siya eh.
Correct.
Whereas if you don't take care, kung nag-divorce, uulit ka na naman. Ang laki ng investment, di ba? To acquire a customer, alam na natin yun, laki ng investment. So the point here is, number one, brand, whether personal, product, or service, is a promise that you're making. And if you keep the promise at every experience, at every customer experience nung customer with your brand, it will lead to a second, third, and possibly long-term relationship. Or, pwedeng walang second date, or after third date, pwedeng instead of marriage, mag-divorce. Ayun, Eric, let me start with that. So the key here is
Yes.
understanding. Yung tatlong C, importante yun. Kailangan
Yung kulay
credible.
green.
Yes.
Oo.
Compelling, naiiba. And connecting yung, oo nga, akong kinakausap nun. In other words, yeah, that's what I need. Or that's what I want. Whether it's a product or a service. Does that make
Connecting, I
sense,
think, is
Eric?
also, yung connecting, sir, is, I think, equivalent dun sa sinasabi rin nila na relevant, no? Relevant
Yes.
yung solution mo or yung offering mo doon
Sa
sa
akin.
requirement or sa problem or doon sa requirement ng kliyente.
Correct.
No? So, you have to be relevant. Hindi yung gagawa ka lang ng something dahil kaya mong gawin yun. Tapos hindi naman pala siya relevant. Hindi pala,
Correct.
wala palang need. No, minsan
Correct.
may mga nagse-set up ng mga ganung business na yun yung mali nila eh. They create something and then from doon sila nagsimula, saka pa lang sila maghahanap ng customer. Saka pa lang sila maghahanap ng demand, no? Pero yung mas madali at mas low risk is hanapin mo yung demand and then create from that demand. 'Di ba?
Yun nga, yung promise mo, di ba? So tama yung kay Eric, the moment you've seen that, your brand, yung promise ng brand mo to deliver is credible, compelling, connecting. Let's give an example. Si FedEx. Tingnan mo yung brand niya. When you absolutely, positively need to have something delivered. Yun yung kanyang Yun yung ad ni FedEx. In other words, kung talagang reliability kailangan mo, when you absolutely and positively need that to be delivered tomorrow, FedEx will deliver on that promise. Diba? So, very credible kasi they've been there, diba, the FedEx brand, but compelling because nobody does it. Diba? Absolutely and positively. And connecting because, wow, yung personal need ko relevant sa akin, I need that document to be there. It's that crucial.
And
So
sigurado ka.
Yes. So when those three things are fulfilled, di ba, based on their initial, and every time they send something, that brand, they get married to that brand. So,
Yes.
mangyayari yan, every time you need to send something, FedEx. Mas mahal yun, pero no problem.
Correct.
Diba?
And speaking of dates, ito yung ka-date ko, matagal na, si Sharon Calugdan watching us po ngayon. Thank you po for watching. Also,
Thank you,
si
Sharon.
Sir Philip ko is watching us. Ayan, sabi ni
Wow.
Sir Philip ko, good day po. And
Salamat,
also
Philip.
si Michael John Licayan, sabi niya, thank you so much, Sir Eric and Sir Enrico. Si Philip ko is viewing from Quezon City. And Sir
Wonderful.
Gabi the Divas, Happy New Year and Happy Valentine's, Sir Eric, Sir Enrico, and everyone. Tama-tama rin yung topic natin, mga dates. First date, second date, Valentine's Day.
Kaya nga yun yung example ko di ba? Kasi magandang analogy kasi nga, di ba, when you're trying to get a first date, kunyari for Valentine's, di ba, you best foot forward ka lahat, di ba? Now, some promises are empty, some promises are real. Di ba? Di ba? So,
correct.
ganun din yun, di ba? If your brand has, credible offer, compelling, and it connects with the person, you get on the first date. But the first date is not enough. If you want brand marriage, you have to keep delivering consistently on the promise. Every
Mhm.
time. Every time. Di ba? And
Correct.
there's some brands in our lives na when, in your mind, pag ito yung kailangan ko, there's only one brand that stands out. Kasi they
Mhm.
deliver all the time. Consistent yun. All the time.
Yun yung sinasabi rin nila na top of mind, no? Na pag
Correct.
ito yung kailangan, ito yung top of mind lagi. Siya yung una mong naiisip, siya yung una mong nakikita.
Correct. Correct.
Mhm.
So there. And how is
Ayan.
this relevant sa pinag-uusapan natin? Because everybody who has a business or even themselves as a person, you need to brand yourself, di ba? How will you brand yourself, di ba? What does it mean to deal with you, whether as an employee or as a consultant, di ba? Or as a partner?
Mhm.
What's the brand, di ba? Ano yung brand mo? What do you represent, di ba?
Mhm.
So, pag yun, nandun yung three C's mo, it's a credible offer, it's a compelling offer, promise, di ba? And it connects, they will go on a first date. And then, from the first date, yun na nga. Di ba? So,
Tuloy-tuloy na. Yes.
yes,
Ngayon ko naalala, sir, no, nagsimula tayo sa isang company, nag-implement tayo ng solution. Tapos nung lumipat kayo ng company, ganun din, no?
yes,
Nag-implement din natin. Actually, ngayon ko naalala, maraming mga kliyente na ganun, na lumipat sila ng company and then binitbit yung solution dahil alam nga nila na kapag kailangan nila ng SME solution, kami yung pwede nilang kontakin at ma-provide yung solution na yun.
tama ba? I'm using you as an experience because really,
Yes.
that's the application of what we're talking about.
Correct, correct. Kailangan you have to be credible and yun nga yung credibility also involves time, di ba? So medyo
Of course.
mahirap for a startup or a beginning company to get credibility. So siguro yun yung mga time talaga na gagawa ka ng mga freebies para ma-build yung portfolio mo, di ba? Na kaya mong
Yes.
gumawa ng ganitong system. So baka yun pwede mong i-free mo na instead na mag-charge ka para lang meron
Right.
kang portfolio and build your credibility. And then
Yeah.
once na meron ka ng portfolio and may credibility ka na, yung offering mo naman, no, na kaya mong i-deliver to in this short period of time or in this low budget, di ba? So yun naman yung next step. And it should be yun nga, relevant, no? Na fix niya talaga, laser focus yung requirement ng client. Ganun dapat.
Yes. So that's when your brand becomes, when the client says, wow, it's speaking to me, it's kapani-paniwala, di ba? And
Mhm.
wow, naiiba. So sige, let's give it a shot. Kasi yun yung first game, kailangan maka first base ka, di ba? Sabi nila, at least man lang, get on a date.
Correct, correct.
Pag hindi ka makarating doon, there's no, di ba, chance. And then you
No
just keep,
marriage.
wala, di ba? Or you just need to deliver on your promise every time they experience or encounter your brand.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yun talaga
Kaya
yung
din
key.
sa Oo, kaya din siguro dun sa mga sa mga naman yung mga nagbebenta ng food, 'di ba? Kapag meron silang bagong restaurant or meron silang mga bagong recipe, for example, merong tinatawag na taste test, 'di ba? So yung
Correct.
taste test na yun yung parang trial, yun yung first date. And dapat you deliver, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Kung ang iyong product ay spaghetti, dapat masarap siyang spaghetti, hindi siya lasang pansit.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Dapat
Yeah.
gano'n.
Yeah.
Mm.
And di ba ikaw, punahin mo, let's go to our own experience with brands. Di ba?
Mhm.
When there's a certain time or mood of the day when nasawa ka sa food and you want to eat, yung tinatawag nilang comfort food, you have your default brands. Ako,
Mhm.
yung pag medyo, I'm not sure what I want to eat, ang comfort food namin as a family is pancake.
Hmm.
Oh, gustong-gusto namin yun. Simple, consistent, the taste is good, price point is good. So, ganun kalakas yung nung brand. Kasi every time
Aha.
it delivers on the promise, which is inexpensive food and simple. Hindi siya yung super sophisticated, but nice. Makes you feel
Mm.
good.
Correct.
So, yun yung dinedeliver nila on their promise that you will get home cooked, and it's comfort food, di ba?
And I think yan din yung sikreto ng mga franchises na kung bakit nagiging successful yung mga franchise. It's because consistent sila sa lahat ng
Correct.
kahit malayong mga branches nila, kahit nasa Mindanao pa yan, consistent yung food na kapag pumunta ka sa isang restaurant na to, pag kumain ka ng chicken nila, it's the same taste, no? Kahit saang branch ka. Kapag
Correct.
may difference per branch, doon magkakaproblema yung franchise.
Yes.
Doon siya
Yes.
nag-fail. Tama ba?
Yes. Yes. Yun yung tinatawag na when you don't deliver on your promise. And the promise is a promise of something in the consumer's mind. Na it's comfort food, inexpensive, always tastes good, and mabilis. Di ba? Every time you deliver on all that, yun ang pirmi nasa ulo, top of mind, di ba? Nung customer.
Yes.
Because you
And
consistently deliver.
consistency. Yes. Correct.
Of course.
Yan. Si Jeff Lim is watching us also from Dasmariñas, Cavite. Wow.
Hello, Jeff.
And also
Salamat.
Dulce Vitog watching us from Mandaluyong
Wow.
naman.
Salamat, Dulce.
Thank you for watching. Sa ating mga viewers, if you have questions, type nyo lang dyan sa comment section or dyan sa chat sa YouTube, type nyo lang and we'll try to answer those questions. No? Now, we're talking about promises din, Sir Enrico, di ba? Related ba dito yung sinasabi nilang under-promise and over-deliver?
Well, in the branding world, when you say under promise over deliver, you want to do that. That's another word for you try to manage expectations. But if you're trying to brand yourself, diba, your promise has to be very clear. It's got to be credible. It's got to be compelling, and it must connect. Diba? So maybe the promise of your brand is that you will deliver a solution that works all the time. Diba? So it's and when you say under promise is not necessarily on the brand. You don't want to under promise on the brand because it doesn't become compelling. What you're really referring to there is you're trying to manage their expectations. So in other words, keep them well grounded. So yung promise mo rin, this is consistent with your branding, is hindi ikaw yung magsasabi, sir, 1 week lang yan. Tapos 2 buwan na, hindi mo pa tapos. So ang ginagawa naman ng iba, binabaliktad. They'll tell them it's 3 months when it can be done in 1 month. Again, as a branding, you don't want to play with that because you want to be consistent. Now, when you tell them, okay, now that you've told me, I'll be able to do that in 1 month. Mas importante na credible yung 1 month and that, okay, you deliver on that. That's how you build, diba, the brand, and that the trust, the confidence, diba, grows from that. So those words. Yeah.
So specific sa topic natin today, which is turning prospects into customers, and yung promise na pinag-usapan natin, it's more focused on yung consistency ng promise talaga. No?
Yes.
Na kapag ito yung quality, ito yung budget, ito yung time na sinabi mo, that you talagang deliver. No? So over time, you have to really be consistent. And it's parang focused more on your integrity din, no? Na hindi ka pabago-bago ng isip, hindi ka pabago-bago ng promise, di ba? So, very important yung integrity sa business.
Correct. In fact, that's the next topic siguro the next few weeks. You build confidence and then the confidence leads to the integrity of the company. Yung integrity ng kumpanya na to deliver, na they will do the right thing. Di ba? So that confidence as the lower part of the pyramid, then integrity, and then it leads into and then ultimately passion. You become proud to be affiliated with a brand, and then until it turns into a passion, di ba?
Yun yung mga sinasabi lang parang brand ambassadors na.
Right.
Parang mga ganun.
Right. May
brand
pride
evangelist na.
Yes.
Na kahit hindi sila binabayaran ng company, talagang ipupush nila yung products and services ng company na yun.
Correct. And there are many brands na ganyan in our lives, di ba? Our own lives, we're consumers, di ba?
Yes,
so we're married to some brands.
Correct.
Right? Some things you will not change, di ba? Maybe gadgets, Eric. There's something probably you're married to a particular brand somewhere, di ba?
Yeah.
So, diba? Maybe not all. Kaya nga, see, You marry it because they deliver consistently over time on their promise. The
Comfortable ka
others,
na dun eh. No?
right, yung iba susubok ka.
Oo.
Because
Mhm.
maybe hindi ganun ka-strong yung delivery on the promise. So you're willing to try,
Mhm.
di ba?
Ayan. May question dito, sir. Maganda yung question niya. In which aspect you spend more effort, time and money? Is it turning prospects or maintaining customer and retention?
Oh, of course, you want, you first should work on yung existing mo, syempre, yung customers mo, yun na nga, 'di ba? Retain them. And to retain them is you have to really consistently deliver on your promise. So that's on the retention, 'di ba? No question, it's much cheaper and more profitable for you, 'di ba?
To
If you have
retain.
that to retain. Oo. Now,
Mhm.
you always need new customers, di ba? Kasi nga, di ba, even if you had, let's say yung mga customers mo, there will be some who will probably either, whatever's happening in their lives, they may, not become your customer for life, di ba? So they may be there for a while, so you still need to get new. But what we're saying is you get new prospects and bring them into your brand to experience your brand. So they become your customer. So I would spend a lot of time, of course, nurturing the existing customers, di ba? Which are, I'm retaining, but that doesn't mean I will no longer turn prospects into customers, di ba? So you're doing both. Now, varying degrees, how much, if you're looking at a percentage of time, how much of that do you do, di ba? It depends on your situation too. I hope that answered
Yes.
the question.
Oo. And yes, tama po yun, no, na it's really more expensive to get new customers versus retaining or maintaining your existing customers. Kaya merong mga loyalty programs na nabubuo, di ba, sir?
Yes.
Meron kang SM, ano yun? SM Advantage, meron kang yung mga Shell cards, ngayon mayroon ring Grab cards, di ba, yung mga
Yeah.
ganun. Those
Yeah.
are parang mga loyalty programs, no, para ma-retain nila yung mga customers. And
Right.
yun nga, mas murang mag-maintain ng customers kaysa kumuha ng bagong customers. And yung dinidiscuss natin today or this week is about how to get more of those new customers.
Yeah.
Tama, Sir Enrico? Yes,
Yes.
no? And
Correct. Correct.
para mapadali din, no? Para mapadali din sa atin na kumuha ng mga bagong customers, yun nga yung very important that we have to be consistent in our promise and we have to have integrity in our business.
Correct.
Ayan. Sabi niya, great. Thank you po, Sir Enrico and Brother Ed. Ayan. Welcome,
You're
welcome po.
welcome.
Type niyo lang po inyong mga questions dyan, suggestions or feedback sa comment section or sa chat and try natin sagutin po yan. No? And don't forget to like and subscribe, no? And join our Facebook group. Ayan. Trixie Frias is also watching us. Ayan. Thank you po
Uy,
for
wow.
watching.
Hello.
Ayan.
Hello, Trixie. Baka may tanong ka pa, Eric, di ba? Para ma-relate natin, di ba? Doon
Mhm.
sa small businesses, di ba? Kasi small business, big business, meron ka pa rin brand eh. And
Yes.
it's not
So,
too difficult.
Oo. Ang siguro sa mga karamihan, no, ngayon either may small business sila or meron silang mga bagong mga products na binibenta, no. How do they turn itong mga prospects nila into customers? Mga ano lang sila, parang home-based lang na business na nagbebenta ng kung ano-anong products. Paano kaya? Anong tip natin
Right.
sa kanila?
Right. Ako, kunyari, if I put up, di ba, ang dami nagbebenta ng food. Unang-una,
Mhm.
how do you position yourself so they're compelling? Eh, kung pareho ka lang, nagbebenta rin ako ng ganitong food, you don't stand out. Hindi compelling for me to want to look further. So, what could you do? Di ba? Okay, when you want your food, and this happens to me, kaya alam ko to, di ba? When you want your food at a certain time, ito yung promise ko. Di ba? Of course, your food has to be good, no question. Di ba? Para ka maka-join dun, kailangan yung pagkain mo masarap. Pero ang gagawin ko is I will promise more on the delivery. Kasi nobody's doing a fantastic job eh. Diba? That will cause me to say, uy, subukan ko nga to. Guaranteed. Diba? Some have done that in the past. Diba? When you absolutely, parang FedEx, when you absolutely need to have it hot at a certain time. Kasi some families, they eat at a certain time.
Oo.
Di ba?
Correct.
Sa akin, ang inis na inis ako, you will order and it will arrive 1 hour, 45 minutes
Malamig na.
after. Malamig na, ang
Sagi
sama
na.
na. Oh,
Oo.
right? So,
Yeah.
if somebody makes the promise and can deliver on that promise, believe me, that's a very compelling promise. It connects, di ba? Because the last thing you want is you're so hungry and ang pinaka-importante sa'yo is you, in your mind, I want to eat at a certain time.
Mhm.
Right? It's no good to order at 11:30 and then you deliver it to me at 1:30 when our routine is we eat at 12:30.
Oo, grabe, tagal.
Right?
Lalo na ngayon, sunod-sunod ang mga meeting sa Zoom. Pag sinabi 1
Correct.
o'clock, hindi ka na pwede malate dahil wala ka ng excuse eh.
Correct.
Walang traffic.
You said another very there's another opportunity. Look, people like us who are constantly moving from one Zoom call to the other, sometimes we don't even have time, di ba? So,
Correct.
if somebody can offer, di ba? Like, position themselves, I'm your go-to meal for Zoom, di ba? Zoom calls. In other words,
Mhm.
if I don't know, this is just thinking out loud. Give me, a solution to my problems where I only have 10 minutes in between calls to eat a meal. Hindi ko naman mabago yung schedule nung maid, nung nagluluto, di ba? That's another. These are just some ideas, di ba? Based on our experience.
Mhm. Actually, nung ina-explain nyo nga yun, sir, naisip ko yung, meron ako nakita na, na K-drama na nagde-deliver sila and kasama dun sa delivery nila, yung talagang actual plates, no, na may cover na. Parang ka nagpa-room service sa hotel. Ganun yung itsura nung delivery nila. So, wala pa akong alam na gano'n na nagbebenta ng food tapos dinideliver nila na para siyang room service sa hotel, di ba? Tapos babalikan na lang later on, parang gano'n. Kung may mga gano'n, maganda rin yun. Lalo na sa mga high-end na mga condo, di ba?
Right. Ako, I stay in a condo. Ang maganda nga is if someone will na parang, look, for your food, ako yung concierge mo. Di ba? Look no further. Tell me anong gusto mo, type mong di ba? If somebody can do that, wow. Di ba? I want it here at this time, and so you have to look at it, and yun nga, you make your brand promise based on, what you see, and then yun nga, it goes back to that, di ba? Can you deliver on that promise? Because when you do, wow, the first date will go to a second date, a third date, uulit-ulit ka. Di ba? Basta nagde-deliver dun sa promise.
Sa mga into sales, no? Sales siguro ng insurance or sales ng mga real estate, yung mga ganon. Yan, maraming mga prospects yan. Di ba? Sa training pa lang nila, write down your names list, no? Your names of prospects. So, itong mga ganitong mga profession into sales, ano yung pwede nilang gawin dun sa kanilang list of names list of prospects para ma-turn them into customers?
Ayun, very good question yan, di ba? It's again the same thing, di ba? O sige, real estate, di ba? Paano ka may iba? Alam mo na naman, may stereotype eh. People will call you, they'll text you, di ba? And that's normal. What do you do with those pitches, Eric? Tanungin kita.
Next time
you
na
don't,
lang.
you don't, exactly. It's not compelling. It doesn't cause you to want to say, okay to So, what can you do? If you have that list, diba, you go through your list and you make your brand promise. You have to develop one. Understanding that, most people, they probably will not even bother to read my email or my text, or much worse, just delete it, diba? So, you have to create your brand promise so that you can turn that list now into customers. Well, to do that, you need to get them to a first date to say, okay, tong si na to Iba tong offer na to Sige nga, I want to take a look. Diba?
Correct.
So I'm not an expert in real estate, but what is that? What is it that you need to do, say, or communicate that's compelling enough para maiba ka dun sa stereotype na, no down payment, Diba?
So ito yung
Diba?
parang a compelling stage, no, na you really have to differentiate yourself. Ano yung
Correct.
yung tinatawag nating USP, unique selling proposition,
Oo.
'di ba?
Yung
Kasi
kakaiba ka.
karamihan, yes, karamihan kasi ng mga ganyan, no, ng mga real estate brokers halimbawa, sabihin nila na pag tinanong mo sila, ano bang ginagawa nyo talaga? Yung iba or karamihan, sasabihin nila, we're selling properties, houses, condos. Pero yung mga successful, ang sinasabi nila is we fulfill dreams, 'di ba?
Yes.
We help
Yes.
our clients fulfill their dreams. Parang yun yung main goal nila, not necessarily selling properties. Tama
Correct.
ba, Henry?
Correct. Tama. In line with that, you could say something, we're here to secure your retirement.
Mm.
How? 'Di ba? We show you property that you can rent. See, it's how you put it together. Ano yung
Mm.
brand promise mo, 'di ba? Para yun nga, your offering or your promise has to be compelling. Yun yung ibig sabihin. Naiiba siya.
Correct. Naiiba. Correct,
Oo,
correct.
para masabi ko, sige nga, okay to ah. 'Di ba? I'm willing
Mm.
to go on a first date.
Mm.
Yun yung objective eh. Maka first date man lang.
Sa mga ano rin sir, sa mga presentations or sa mga website, no, meron tayong nakikita na mga either clients list, 'di ba? Clients list or mga testimonies ng mga clients. Part ba 'yon ng ito, turning prospects into customers?
Of course, it adds to the credibility. Look what
Mhm.
ano has to say, 'di ba? So that helps, 'di ba? Like, oh, wow. Talaga? Talaga si ano ginamit to and had success with it? Wow. Sige nga. And then
Mhm.
and pag sinabi ng credible, like examples na hindi credible, lose 20 pounds in 10 days. Putya naman, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Be a millionaire in 1 week.
Wow.
I mean,
Kakaiba 'yon.
hindi credible, 'di ba? You know it's not true,
Mhm.
'di ba? I mean assuming legal, of course, maybe
Mhm.
some, but that's what's meant also, 'di
Mhm.
ba? It's believable, kapani-paniwala, 'di ba?
Mhm.
So it causes the ano to become more intrigue, parang or curiosities, parang oh, parang okay to ah, 'di ba?
Mhm.
So yun yung ibig sabihin, yung kapani-paniwala, believable. Hindi yung oh, get into this and it will solve your marriage problems. Sus Maria, naman, di ba? Hindi,
Oo.
that's what's meant, di ba?
Correct, correct.
So, and then it's compelling enough na parang, okay ah, makes sense, di ba? Parang, oh nga, no?
Mm.
Di ba?
Yan. Si Sir Jonathan, Coach Jonathan is watching. Yan. Sabi niya,
Uy,
watching from the Academy, Philippines.
salamat
Ayan.
po,
Thank you po,
Coach,
Coach
Coach
Jonathan.
Jonathan. And
Ayan.
wonderful what you're doing for our Filipino brothers and sisters. Carry on. You're doing a fantastic job. Salamat sa
Yes.
iyo. People like you, maybe we should really get together, join forces to really, continue this, this advocacy of making the Filipino excellence shine, di ba? And we bring it to other shores, not them bringing it to our shores all the time. Salamat, Coach.
Yep. Yes. So if you have questions, no, type nyo lang dyan sa comment section or chat dyan sa YouTube. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe na rin, no? Para wala kayong ma-miss ng mga episodes ng Truly Happy Juan. Ayan. So ang question natin next is, what are your takeaways? No? So ano ba ang inyong mga takeaways? Type niyo po dyan sa comment section sa baba, no? Or chat dyan sa YouTube about how do you turn your prospects into customers, or ano ba yung natutunan natin today na bago, no? So type niyo yan sa ating comment section and makakatulong yan sa iba nating mga viewers din na nanonood nitong ating mga episodes. Ayan. So ako naman, ang key takeaway ko for this week, no, is yun nga, very important sa business yung 3 C's, no? Credible, compelling, and connecting. And for you to be credible, you have to be trustworthy, no? And you have to have integrity sa business mo na talagang you walk the talk, kumbaga, no? Kung ano yung sinasabi mo, yun yung nangyayari, yun yung ginagawa mo. And it has to be compelling, no? Meron ka dapat competitive advantage or uniqueness na hindi nila makukuha sa ibang providers or sa ibang suppliers. Then it has to be connecting, or relevant, na itong mga solutions na meron ka, yung mga offerings na meron ka, dapat nakaka-solve siya ng problema ng customer din. Hindi lang siya basta ito lang yung features niya. No? It has to talk about benefits or solutions to certain problems. No? People will pay for solutions, no, to take away pain or to solve their problems. So yun po yung pinaka-importante. Tama ba, Sir Enrico?
O, tamang-tama. Wala na akong masasabi sa takeaway dahil yun rin. Ang isa na lang idadagdag ko doon, it's really, ang takeaway dito is a brand is a promise or an expectation of performance. That's what it is. Diba? And you work very hard to keep the promise at every stage of the experience of the customer. When you keep the promise at every encounter, then that can lead to lasting, enduring, meaningful relationship for the customer and the brand owner.
Yes. Thank you, Sir Enrico. Ayan. And ang ating topic next week naman, ating topic next week is the 5 P's in brand building. Ayan. Konting intro, sir. Ano ba tong 5 P's in brand building?
Okay, di ba? Textbook. Pag nag-marketing ka, the 4 P's, di ba? Textbook yan, di ba? Product, price, place, promotion. But yung often overlooked 5th P, which is also related to what we're talking about, is yung people. Bigyan kita ng example, di ba? I work for Shell. Yung moment of truth with the customer, hindi with the dealer, it's with the pump attendant. Sino ba unang nakaka-encounter nung car owner sa stasyon?
Yung pump attendant.
Yung pump attendant.
Oo, tama.
That is make or break. That person will enhance the brand or diminish the brand. Promise keeper yun. Kung excellent service yung brand promise, it will either be enhanced or undermined by the person. So don't undermine or this 5th P, which is people. Kasi ito yung talagang nagbi-build ng brand mo at every encounter. Di ba, Eric? Customer tayo, punta kang stasyon.
Correct.
Hindi iningatan, nagasgasan yung tumama yung nozzle dun sa kotse, nagkaroon ng tapos madumi yung pera, hindi maayos. Sira yung brand mo. Kahit yung 4 P's mo, ayos.
At hindi lang nangyayari yan sa mga malalaking companies. Nangyayari din yan sa mga maliliit na mga businesses, lalo na yung mga kiosk, di ba? Yung mga kiosk, mas lalong kitang-kita yung brand, yung brand effect, sa business kapag yung tao natin sa kiosk natin may problema.
Correct. Para lang ma-excite lalo. Ironically, these people who have that first encounter are the lowest paid. Tama? Sino malaki ang normally, the ones that are customer, sila yung yun yung irony. Sila yung pinakamababa ang sweldo. Yet, they are the ones who will either enhance your brand or not. So, it's something to, to really think through.
Magandang topic yan next week. Ayan. So, abangan nyo po yan. And para hindi nyo ma-miss, make sure that you subscribe. Click nyo lang yung subscribe button dyan sa baba sa YouTube or join our Facebook community. We have a Facebook group called Truly Happy Juan. And yung link sa group na yun nandyan sa description nitong video. Click nyo lang po. Okay, so at this point, we will end our episode with our usual Panatang Makabayan. So itaas po natin ang ating kanang kamay at bigkasin ng Panatang Makabayan. Iniibig ko ang Pilipinas, aking lupang sinilangan, tahanan ng aking lahi. Kinukupkop ako at tinutulungan upang maging malakas, masipag at marangal. Dahil mahal ko ang Pilipinas, diringgin ko ang payo ng aking mga magulang. Susundin ko ang tuntunin ng lipunan. Tutuparin ko ang tungkulin ng mamamayang makabayan. Naglilingkod, nag-aaral at nagdarasal ng buong katapatan. Ialay ko ang aking buhay, pangarap at pagsisikap sa bansang Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po and we'll see you again next week, Saturday.